Welcome to Games Under the Radar for January and February 2019. This series aims to inform you on recently released and upcoming titles that I've been playing that I feel may not have garnered much mainstream attention. This is not necessarily critiquing these titles, but instead are games I found to have some interesting detail that caught my eye, be it a certain gameplay mechanic, a unique art style, or some other element that sparked my interest to check it out. If any one of these look interesting to you, I encourage you to seek out further information about the games showcased here to learn a little more about them. Dragon Marked for Death is a side-scrolling co-op focused action RPG made by the same people who brought you Mega Man 9 and 10, the Gunvolt series, and most recently, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. With two different versions of the game offering two distinct character classes each, this game highly encourages you to take on challenging timed levels with a group to take down some truly intimidating bosses. The grind for better loot and increasing your stats is the core loop in Dragon Marked for Death. Solo players might want to get their fix elsewhere, but it's hard not to have fun when you and your team are firing on all cylinders and working together to take on some truly chaotic battles. Its fast-paced and challenging gameplay makes it ideal for a group of friends to tackle together. Away, Journey to the Unexpected is a first-person roguelite with some RPG elements. Death is just the beginning here, where you slowly improve your hero over time, learn how to survive through changing procedural dungeons, encounter strange characters, and battle deadly bosses. You'll need to find and recruit NPCs scattered around the map, which also, strangely enough, function as your weapons in the game. If you fail at convincing one, however, you will miss out on them for that run. Learning how to convince each distinct character is vital to progression. With very unique visual styling and the satisfaction from gradually getting better with each attempt, Away, Journey to the Unexpected is a nice and light action experience with just the right amount of charm. Unruly Heroes is a side-scrolling action platformer that works quite well for solo players or an entire group of friends. 4 different classes can be switched to on the fly when going it alone or individually commandeered by others. All of the characters grant access to entirely different combat abilities, which are also required to solve character-specific environmental puzzles. Unruly Heroes has some interesting mechanics that help diversify its platforming challenges with surprisingly demanding combat. The Asian-inspired painterly look is always satisfying and helps to give the game its own unique vibe. Unruly Heroes is incredibly easy for friends to jump in at any time to help you out, and remains enjoyable for everyone thanks to its challenging encounters. Death End Request is a trippy turn-based JRPG meets visual novel. You play a character trapped inside an unfinished video game that's full of bugs and glitches, which turns much of this crazy simulated world against you. The battle system here allows for player characters to move freely around the battlefield. Use this free movement to effectively line up your skills to knock enemies into damaging glitches, combo into another character, and bash them against walls or other enemies in order to maximize damage during your turn. The combat mechanics feel like a strange hybrid of billiards meets pinball.
How's this? It's over for now.
Death End Request, as you progress, continues revealing more and more layers to its combat as you play. You will slowly discover new skills by combining different attacks to further increase your effectiveness in this combo-focused battle system. Be prepared for a heavy dose of exposition and monologuing as you jump back and forth between reality and simulation in attempts to break free of the virtual prison that you helped to create.
Home run! I'll handle this.
Ready for battle!
Leave it to me!
Are you okay?
JackQuest The Tale of the Sword is a side-scrolling Metroidvania that offers fast-paced combat and precision platforming across an ever-expanding map. You can choose to trust the game's built-in checkpoint system or find and buy consumable checkpoints to strategically use yourself. This allows you to manually set your own respawn point when facing a difficult area, not too dissimilar to what was done in Ori and the Blind Forest's checkpoint system. JackQuest might start off as a comfort food Metroidvania, but soon becomes more of its own as you journey farther in and expand your arsenal of abilities in this quickly paced platforming adventure. When Ski Lifts Go Wrong is a physics-based construction game that has you doing things like building stable ski lifts for passengers, crafting the perfect bike ramp, properly navigating your snowboarding test subject through elaborate gauntlets, and many other zany situations. Many levels require you solving intricate puzzles using your building prowess alone. Unlike some construction games similar to this, the addition of real-time gameplay makes your creations feel all that more tangible as you try to survive them yourself. If you don't want to be confined by the rules set in place during the main missions, you can go nuts in the built-in level creator. Make up your own micro puzzles to be solved, or create treacherous slopes and see if your friends can navigate them. When Ski Lifts Go Wrong is 1 part physics game, 1 part constructor, and 2 parts wacky fun that is only limited by your own creativity. Wargroove is a turn-based strategy game that feels like a greatest hits of combining the best elements from the Advance Wars series and Fire Emblem. Using a wide assortment of interesting and varied unit types, you'll need to tactically take over structures, increasing your daily income, to pump out a legion of troops to defend against the enemy onslaught. The missions are diverse and layered, requiring you to do much more than simply smashing your troops against enemies, thus adding more nuanced depth to many of these levels. If you're not satiated after finishing the story mode, you can dive into the creation tools to make not only your own levels, but entire campaigns that can be shared online. The built-in story campaign functions off the exact same tools provided to players, meaning that the community can craft literally an infinite amount of quality campaigns. If you feel like putting your tactician skills to the test, local and online multiplayer modes are also available to pit your favorite commander against someone else's. Wargroove takes some of the best elements from the series it aims to replicate, and ends up creating its own unique spiritual successor in the process. And that about covers the 7 recent and upcoming games that I've been playing that might have slipped under your radar. You might have already heard about some of these titles, but if just one happened to have caught your eye that you haven't heard of before, I'm happy to have shed some light on it for you. Hopefully this helps to expand the pool of games that you enjoy this year, and links to every game I covered here can be found in the video description. If you enjoyed this style of content, consider subscribing, and for as little as $1, supporting this channel via Patreon grants you access to regular game giveaways, the Boomstick Gaming Discord channel, and behind-the-scenes updates on future videos in production. This not only helps with the day-to-day upkeep of my channel, but also allows me to provide more back to you. This has been Deadite, and thanks for watching Boomstick Gaming.